position. Is it that kind of a game? Why do you think that you always seem to lose at blackjack? What is the edge that gives them that 52 to 48 advantage?
Well, I think I lose because I stay there.
Can't argue with that. That's definitely not going to benefit you. The longer you play, the more the odds will kick in.
That's right.
Okay. Actually, the way it works is you stroll on up to the table, and there's the little dealer in a pork pie hat and a bow tie and a name tag, and representing the casino. And what you see in front of them is a tray full of chips, deck of cards, and you sit down across from them, and these chips are what you're playing for. That's the house money, and that dealer is the house that you're playing against. And how does it start out? We deal off a couple of cards. You've got a 16, I've got a king up. What are you going to do? Up to you. You're going to hit, you're going to stay. You're going to hit, you're going to stay.
Hit.
I'll hit. You busted. Look at this. I busted too. You still lost. That's how it works. Next hand, same thing. It's up to you. Up to you. What are you going to do now? Okay, this time I'll stay. What do you do? Oh, look at this. Bam, bam, bam. 21. How does that feel, sir?
Yeah.
And that's how it works. It's pretty much how it goes. What we have here is a situation that all of us have heard this expression before. Under the gun. Is that a good thing to be?
No.
Gun to your head, right? He's always under the gun. I always have another expression we probably heard before, the dealer's advantage. I get to see what's happening first before I make a play. That is what poker is based upon, that kind of principle that somebody's always under the gun, somebody always has the dealer advantage. Now, that means everyone has to have a chance to be both of those things or the misfortune of the same. Since we've already determined that there is a very large advantage to being the dealer, as we saw in the blackjack example, it really becomes graphic in the game of Texas Hold'em, because Texas Hold'em is a game that has 4 betting rounds. That means when you're under the gun, you're under the gun 4 times. When you have the dealer's advantage, you have that 4 times as well. So we have to take turns in who gets to be the dealer, but we don't want to pass the deck around the table. So what do we use? The dealer button. And what this signifies is the person that this is sitting in front of, they may as well, for all intents and purposes, be holding the deck. They are going to be the dealer in that position for the duration of that hand. And we use it from her. At the end of her hand, it moves over here. Now that means that the dealer doesn't just sit in this position all night long and deal clockwise, because if that were the case, nobody would ever sit here under the gun. Everyone would be fighting over this seat, the dealer's advantage seat. So we continue to circulate that clockwise around the table as though it were the deck. Now, poker trivia. Back in the days of Theodore Roosevelt, there was no such thing as plastic. There were no such thing as dealer buttons. He was a huge poker buff. They played poker in the White House on a regular basis. What did they use for this? A buck knife, hence the buck stops here. That's where it came from. So,
with this, do they always use one of these?
they always do in all of the games that you will find that involve flop games, meaning where there are cards in the middle. There are some games that are still played called 7-card stud, where there isn't any position predicated upon the dealer. It's decided by who has the highest cards up. That's not the case with Texas Hold'em. So any game like Texas Hold'em, is what we will be focusing on today. Yes, there will always be one of these in all the games.
I'm a little confused. The person who has the dealer chip, is that what it's called?
Dealer button.
The button.
Button. Who's got the button?
I have the button.
Yes, you do.
They don't actually hold the cards to deal.
No, that's a very good question. They don't hold the cards, but normally everything gets dealt clockwise. Our dealer's sitting right here, so clockwise would be starting here.
Yeah.
But since that signifies that you're holding the deck, the dealer will pick up the deck, and the first
And
person
start
they
here.
deal to is to the lady sitting
got
to
you.
your left, and
Okay.
go continue clockwise around the table.
Interesting.
Okay. Thank you for watching. I'm Roger Rod, and I'm your poker expert for Professorit.com.